Once upon a time, there was a Maharaja named Rajendra, and he was a Maharaja. He ruled over a very large kingdom, huge kingdom in India, and he had a wife named Bhanumati, and Maharani Bhanumati was very beautiful. And they had a beautiful daughter named Indumati, Rani Indumati. So Rani Indumati, as she grew up, Maharaja knew the value of education, so he got the best teachers to teach her all the subjects. She learned all the sciences, including astronomy, astrology. She learned math, and she also learned the religious language, the Sanskrit language, and she learned the Veda, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and she was knowledgeable with all of those things. So and as she grew up, she grew in a great deal in her knowledge too. Then the time came when um, the Maharaja decided that she needs to get married. So the Maharani and Maharaja, they invited people to come and propose to her. And when somebody would come and propose to her, Rani Indumati would take an interview and she would test them as to their knowledge. So when she tested them, she would ask questions like, how does the formation, the birth of the new moon affect people's lives and things like that with astrology. And she would also question them about the religion, and she would talk to them in Sanskrit. So most of them could not answer her questions. So she rejected them. People kept coming and she kept rejecting them. Then there came a time when nobody would come to the palace to propose to her. So that was a big problem. Maharani Bhanumati was very worried. Then she called two of the courtiers, Venkatesh and Rajesh, to help her find somebody. So she said, why don't you go and visit all the schools in the land and see if you can find somebody who's smarter than her so we can get her married. So they visited the schools, and when they went to the schools, they found that that the people um, they asked them, how would you like to come and propose to the princess because she's looking for somebody who's very smart. They said, no, no, we don't think we are as smart as her, so we don't want to go propose to her. Then it just happened that Venkatesh and Rajesh were passing by a school, and they overheard a conversation between a teacher and a student. So the teacher, he was teaching astrology to his student, and he taught him everything there was to know. So he said, now my student, the student name was Ramalu. So Ramalu, I'm going to test you now. You know everything there is to know about astrology. So let's see if you have gained all the knowledge. So then the teacher said, I have something in my hand, in my fist. I want you to guess what it is with your knowledge of astrology. So Ramalu, he did some calculations, and then he said that thing is round. He just said, correct, very wonderful. Your your calculations are absolutely right. Then he did some more calculations and he worked, and then he said, that thing has a hole in it. So correct again, absolutely right, Ramlu, you're doing wonderful. Then Ramlu did some more calculations, and then he said, this thing has stone. So, very wonderful, very good. Now I want you to guess what it is. So Ramalu thought, and then finally came with the answer, Chakki ka part, which means the grindstone. It is huge like this to grind corn. So the teacher said, Ramalu, you have all the knowledge, but you don't have common sense. How can you guess that this thing would fit in my fist? So he was very flabbergasted, but Venkatesh and Rajesh, who overheard the conversation, they came up to Ramalu and said, we think you have a very good chance of marrying the princess. Ramalu said, really? Yeah, sure. You have a lot of knowledge of astrology. We think you're the right man. So they prepared him. They said to him, you go and you don't talk to the princess. Whatever question she asks you, you have to answer with gestures. So how am I going to do that? I don't know sign language. Doesn't matter. You will figure out a way. So they made him ready, made him get him good clothes and everything, and they prepared him. And the date was set. And Bhanumati, Maharani Bhanumati, she made sure that a lot of people were invited to the Raj Bhavan, the palace, so they could witness the interrogation, the encounter with the princess. So everybody came, and there was a large audience, and Indumati came out, and Ramalu came, and they did namaste, and Indumati said namaste, but they told Indumati that Ramalu is very well educated, so knowledgeable. He only speaks in gestures. He does not speak. He prefers not to use any language. So you have to ask him the question with gestures, and he will answer you in gestures also. But she said that's fine, and she thought of something, and then she did. Ramalu thought about it, and he said, everybody was so happy. They said, "Oh, Ramalu, you gave the right answer. Wonderful, wonderful. We have our new Raja now. The princess will get married." And everybody was so happy. They were all rejoicing. And Indumati was scratching her head. She said, "I told this guy there is one God, and he says two." Actually, what Ramalu thought was, she said, "I'm going to hit you one." So he answered, "I'm going to hit you two." But since everybody had approved and said that Ramalu was smarter than Rani Indumati, she got married to Ramalu, and that's how Ramalu became Raja Ramalu. But then he learned from Indumati all the sciences and all the knowledge she had, and he later on became a very knowledgeable person, and he also became the Raja. So that is the story of Raja Ramalu and Rani Indumati. They got married in the traditional Hindu way. The Brahmin priest, they came and they performed the ceremony and everything. And later on, Indumati discovered that he's not that smart of a person, but he did learn from her and he became very smart.